Talking about fun, maybe holiday fun, and weight loss.
I think
it is time to talk about no holiday weight gain.
So, all right. So, let's talk about something before that I think is important too. So, you're probably going to be seeing a lot of like ads and articles and things that say that like, all right, from Thanksgiving until New Year's Day, like the typical weight gain is like 5 to 6 pounds or 5 to 8 pounds or something stupid. First off, none of that is based on anything factual. And so I don't know where the numbers came from or what the origin is.
Or the people that might be coaches and say that it's 10 pounds.
Right, or whatever. So like first off, the most recent research that I said it's really, I think it was 0.46 kilograms, which is about a pound, is what people gain. But here's the caveat, is what they found in the research was people would gain that pound, but then they wouldn't take that pound off through the rest of the year, and then they would gain another pound, and then like, now if we look at that over the course of 10, 15, 20 years, that's all of a sudden 20 pounds of weight, which is pretty significant. And that's saying you just gained a pound during that time frame and you didn't gain anything else on the other portion of the year. And so what was most interesting about the research was, yeah, people gain during the holidays, which is normal. We're typically eating more and more parties, that kind of stuff. But we weren't.
But we're really talking like 11 days of the year.
Right, which isn't a lot. I mean, I think a lot of people like think Thanksgiving to New Year's is just all of this stuff and all of these parties and all of these things going on. When in reality, it's like Thanksgiving, it's probably Christmas Eve, it's Christmas Day, and then you probably have like work parties and that kind of stuff. So it's probably like 8 days.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know if like 11 was the number Aaron gave, but like for real though, like we're talking 8 days.
Right.
Are you not going to make changes right now for 8 days?
Right. So we see a lot of people are like, I'm going to wait till the new year. I'm going to wait till that. And like it doesn't really make any sense because like ultimately like you will postpone your healthy journey for another month and a half just because of like 8 days of maybe not the best eating or whatever. So like let's kind of talk about this whole. So we do something at Functional Fitness every year to help people with this. It's called No Holiday Weight
Now
Gain.
I like want to make it where like you can't gain. We give a 2 pound allowance, but now I'm like no pound allowance.
So right, so we do something called the No Holiday Weight Gain, which helps to keep people conscious through the holidays. Because I think the thing that can happen most frequently to people is we just forget about anything that we've ever been doing, and so we let our environment go, and so we have stuff on Thanksgiving and now we have leftovers for the next week, or we had Christmas cookies in our house for the next 2 weeks, and everyone knows that when the Christmas cookies are sitting on the counter, like
Christmas cookies go in the freezer.
We be munching on Christmas cookies all day long.
Christmas cookies go in the freezer.
So like it's just being cognizant of this stuff, and so we do a thing called No Holiday Weight Gain that people weigh in at the beginning and they weigh in after the new year, and it just helps them stay like top of mind. And just know that it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy this stuff. It just means like let's be a little bit smarter about it and do some check-ins to make sure that we're doing the things we need to in order to be successful.
So if you're doing No Holiday Weight Gain with us, I highly recommend weighing in every week or every other week. Mm-hmm. First weigh-ins are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week before Thanksgiving, and then we will weigh in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of January, which is a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For that. So thinking like, when am I weighing in?
And things with weigh-ins too. So let's remember that like our body is actually made up of a bunch of water, and just because weight doesn't go up, or just because weight goes up doesn't mean that it's always a fat gain.
So that we are looking at fat mass
right.
on the body count
machine. So we have a body count machine, so we can do that. But if you're ever weighing yourself at home and your weight fluctuates a lot, that's typically a water fluctuation. And so maybe you had a weekend where you had more alcohol than normal, you had maybe more carbs than normal. Your weight's probably going to be up on a Monday just because if you were very low carb before that and then you added a bunch of carbs in, you're storing a bunch more water. And so just know that when you're looking at a scale, there's going to be a lot of fluctuations. So if you can keep it consistently the same time, the same day, the same time, week to week, that gives us a little bit more accurate of a representation of trends over time, because that's really what we're looking for is trends. And so some ideas for during the holidays to just kind of keep things in check. Number one is like enjoy the days that you want to enjoy. So like I wouldn't like try and like make Thanksgiving like fit exactly into your meal plan, or make Christmas Day. Like it doesn't, like at the end of the day, like that really doesn't matter.
You know what I found though? Like if you really think about what you're eating on like Thanksgiving, turkey, okay.
Protein.
Like protein, potatoes, carbs, not bad. vegetable, peas, corn,
Stuffing.
broccoli, like no, but like think about just building build your plate. Like here we go. Now add the other stuff on. Fill the plate with those kind of things first, and then add the other stuff. Like don't like know that you need to have a good amount of protein. Know that you're gonna have some veggies, and then after that, enjoy the stuff.
Some other really cool tricks to just keeping calories a little bit more in check is the whole eating slowly concept. And so putting your fork down in between bites, conversing, that kind of stuff that can slow you down. One thing that I give to a lot of my clients is be the last one at the table to finish eating. And so a lot of clients turn it into a game. And what that does, it just forces you to slow down, gets you a little bit more in tune with your kind of hunger signals, and allows you to stop before you are overstuffed and feel uncomfortable. And that allows you to keep calories a little bit more in check rather than just like trying to gobble everything down as fast as you can. And then you get that feeling of, oh, I feel good, oh, I feel terrible. Because your brain now caught up with your stomach and realized that it was distended beyond its comfort level.
The other thing to think about is when you're sitting and you're looking at desserts, and maybe you're a family that has a variety of desserts, not all desserts are created equal. So don't think that you need to have every single dessert. Maybe you just have what you actually like, and you don't eat your Aunt Jane's sweet potato souffle because you don't like it. Like, and so often we fall into, like, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Sorry, Aunt Jane, I love you.
Is that an actual real person?
This is for real, my Aunt Jane's sweet potato souffle. I don't eat it. I love her, but like so often we don't eat stuff or we eat something because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Right. And maybe we just don't eat it and it will be okay.
So I think that's an important thing to talk about. And I think a lot of people in the weight loss, fat loss world don't talk about the social pressures that happen through a lot of things. And so maybe if you really have a good relationship with Aunt Jane, she really wants to try it, you have an appropriate amount, right? And so I think it's being cognizant of those social, I don't want to say social pressures, but it's kind of like the social interactions and norms that we have in everyday life, and realize that actually that does have a lot of influence on like things that we eat and the way that we behave and a lot of those things. It's just being aware of that stuff, and like it's okay to, if something doesn't necessarily fit into your diet plan or whatever, like to have it and be done with it and move on.
But it's also okay to say no, thank you. Like I think sometimes we say yes, even just like commitments in our everyday life, and like yes, I'll have that, but like what if you just don't like ranch dressing, so you don't want to eat it because it has ranch dressing on it? It's okay to say
you
no.
Don't like ranch dressing?
Oh, on a salad? Absolutely not. Do not ever serve me salad with ranch dressing.
Interesting.
I like ranch for other chicken bacon ranch. That's the only thing I could think that I would put ranch dressing on. I don't like, no. So no, I don't like ranch.
Okay. All right.
But like, it's okay to say no to stuff, like, because you don't like it, instead of like just saying yes to everything, and having it on your plate. Because I know, especially with holidays and like just in general, like we feel like we need to finish what's on our plate.
Right.
So like we're putting stuff on our plate that we don't really like, but yet we're still eating it.
Right.
So just stop putting it on your plate. It'll be okay. And like if you need some excuse for some person, I didn't have room on my plate for that. Like like I didn't have room on my plate for that. So like you have a reason to say that, and you can kind of move on.
I like it. And then the last thing that goes along with this is don't let a single day bleed into a week or 2 weeks or the entire month. So send leftovers home with other people if they don't really fit with what you want for you, or like the sweets and that kind of stuff. Let's get it put away so it's not sitting out, or send it home with other people.
Make the leftovers into like leftover meal containers. So like appropriate portion style stuff too is another great way to have it. So like it's already ready to be grabbed for a meal, and not like overindulge on anything crazy.
And like at the end of the day, like you can't go wrong with protein. So if you're like, I got,
in case you missed a whole episode last week,
like we can't go wrong with protein. And so protein makes us feel full. It's very, very hard to overeat on protein. You just can't, like, in a way. And it's ultimately going to help you kind of stay closer to what you